I'm a lot better than last time.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, what's been going on since we last met?
Oh man, I'm almost embarrassed to think about how last week was. It was like a train wreck. Did you sleep okay that night?
I did.
Wow. How do you do that as a therapist? Take all of our junk and just, oh my gosh. Like mine alone. Imagine if you had like 8 of me or 28 of me in one day. That would be intense. Wow.
The key thing is self-care. That's the key.
Self-care. Yes. Okay. So yes. You jogged my brain. You were like, isn't there somebody else? And I remember I just kind of sat here and I was thinking about it. And I said, my mom had a sister. I said, I have an aunt. And it like took me a whole 24 hours to pick up the phone because every time I've called her in the past, I'm either like drunk in a bar or I'm at a guy's house and I don't have my car because I went with him, just embarrassing things. So she came to my mind because I talked to you about it. And honestly, I've never liked to talk to her because she's kind of hoity-toity. I told you that I don't like church. I didn't want to go back to church because of things that had happened there. And she's in church. She's actually the only one in my mom's family that seems to have her life kind of figured out. Well, a lot figured out. And I don't know, I guess talking to you, I remember saying to you like, some things make sense. And the dream and all of that. It was just a lot. And so I kind of thought about it. I don't have a job. I have nothing planned. I don't know what to do. So you said call somebody, and Crystal, my friend, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to call her. And so I keep looking down because she gave me this ring and I've been wearing it for a long time. And when I talked to you last week, I kept looking at it. And so it says, I am enough. And she gave me that once. And she said, Sarah, you are enough. And I know you've had some, crappy things thrown your way, but you're enough, just like you are. And of course, I'd never believed her. I just thought the ring was cool. So last week I was looking at it and I was like, I don't want to call her. And then I thought, what are the chances of her being awful if I'm sober? I never call her, you know what I'm like, so I just thought you're nice to me. And I don't know. So I called her and it was so weird. She just was like, Sarah, I'm glad you called. Would it be okay if I came pick you up? And she was like ready right away. She's a stay-at-home mom and she's nicer than my mom. So she came and got me, and they live on some land. She's actually still with her husband, the only one in the family, because my mom had other siblings. None of them worked out. So anyway, her sister's dead, and her name's Laura. And so anyway, Aunt Laura, keep playing with the ring. I'm sorry. It's just hard to look at you. She picked me up, and it was just weird. I got out of the car and I did the deep breath. You had said to me, what else can you do? And I was like, I don't even know. Go for a walk. So that's what I did. I got there and she's like, why don't you take a little time while I run in and make dinner? And so I did. I walked around, and she has a horse and chickens.
So it looks like, I apologize, it looks like our feed froze a little bit. You know how virtual these virtual sessions. So you were talking about your horses and chickens, and it just froze.
That's probably why, because I'm there. I'm at my aunt's. So okay. I'm in a different location. See the background?
That's okay.
Different,
that's okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Finish your thought about the horses.
Okay, yeah. So she picked me up, and I got out of that car. She said, why don't you just walk around for a little bit? And she went in to make dinner, and I remember, you just saying, well, what do you like to do? And I said, well, I like to walk my dog. So I took my dog and I just walked around, and I just walked and walked, and it was just weird because I have nobody to impress. I have no job to go back to. And so I guess we don't take I don't take time to actually think. I just go from one thing to the next thing, and then my head is all messed up. And she just looked at me and said, Sarah, I'm so proud of you. And I never hear those words. I'm like, for what? And she's like, 'cause you called me. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like, that's just weird. Because, like, how do you get proud about that? Just weird. So, yeah, so I stayed there for the evening and ate dinner, and I bared my soul. Like, I guess talking to you helped. And she actually listened. She was like, I really don't have a lot that I can give other than, I have a room here. And she said, but I really think you really need to stay in therapy because I don't have, she's like, I can't get in your head. And nobody can, it seems like. But she said, it might be good for you. If you like it here, maybe you could come stay for a little bit. And that was refreshing since, my rent will be due soon and I don't have a job. And, my lease was month to month anyway. So I wouldn't have to break anything. Anyway, I'm like rambling. Anyway, I loaded up all my stuff, and they have like a little shed thing. They put my couch and all that stuff in, and they just said, welcome, and let me stay in my own little room. They have other children they're not little, so she's not afraid I'm going to be too crazy. That in itself was surprising because, I'm kind of neurotic sometimes. So I didn't want her to feel like, I've not done things to children, but I definitely like being with men, and obviously living out in the middle of nowhere, that's not going to be a problem unless I leave. So anyway, she said, no booze, no alcohol. And I'm like, oh, okay, no alcohol. So she's teaching me how to get eggs from the chickens. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm a city girl. It's been crazy. I don't know. What do you think? Is that just weird? Help me. I sound better, right?
I think that's just incredible.
Okay.
Good job in picking up that phone and making that phone call.
Thank you.
Good job.
Can you imagine hearing those words? She's never said that. She's always the opposite. Like, she's one of those, we need to get you to church. And she hasn't even mentioned church at all. She's just said, I know you've been through a lot. And I think what happened when I shared with her about what happened with my dad and the dream, and that I actually called my mom, I don't know. It's like she just kind of seemed different. Like, maybe she didn't know what was going on at my house when I was a kid. I don't know. I think sometimes maybe people look at people like me and they just think we just came out this way. No, I didn't just come out this way. Most people want to have a life and they like to have a career by the time they're 40. So anyway, I've been looking at possibly going back to school for hair, which I never finished that. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to think about. So, we moved me out, and I've been here for 2 nights. I don't know. I haven't had a drink. I did a little bit before I moved. I'm not gonna lie. I had to have just a little bit, calm me down, and got out here. And she keeps me busy. I think maybe that's good. I don't get to sit much by myself. I feel like I'm paying for rent, by helping. But it's a little bit much to, get up earlier than 10. You got roosters outside your window. I don't know. It's not going to be long term. She said, we just want to help you for now and get you on your feet. I'm like, okay. So put in some applications around her. I do have my car still, thank God. And so there's a couple of job openings in the area. I just feel like I'm not quite ready because, and I did get the protective order against that guy.
Okay.
Mark. Oh my gosh. He had stuff on his record.
Wow.
You kind of wonder. Protective order last year from another girl. So she's the one who pushed me to do that. And usually you have to do it in 24 hours, but because of the circumstance that people saw how we left the bar, the bartender, anyway, so that worked out. I got that protective order, and at least then it's on his record so that, you know, I don't think he would try to find me. It was a one night thing, but still, I mean, it's good. And I know then that hopefully, you know, if he tried something again that, you know, with somebody else, that they would be okay. So.
Wow. So
yeah.
two things. Not only did you pick up the phone, but you just to protect yourself.
Yes.
Good for you.
Well, I wasn't going to. Remember, I was on the phone with you or talking to you, and I just was like, eh. But she, you know, picked up my finger and she's like, you are enough. Like, are you not worthy? Are you not? And I don't know. I think I just thought about that. Like, I never had a mom figure and I never really had a dad figure. Think about that. I always said to people, yeah, I have a mom, but my dad left. So I always had a thing against my dad. But when you think about the fact that, like, my mom kind of acted like a teenager when I was, you know, she was dating, and sometimes I kind of worried she'd like my boyfriends. I'm like, she's starting to like them younger and younger. So, wow, kind of weird. So,
Sarah, this is excellent. If I can ask a question.
Yes.
Tell me the story about your ring.
Yes.
I am enough. That's interesting. So, well, what's the story behind your ring, and what does that mean to you?
Well, the last time that my Aunt Laura came to pick me up at the bar, loaded, because I have, like, on my phone the two people, Crystal and my Aunt Laura, if emergency. And my friends were like, you cannot drive home and we can't drive you. And they just called her, and she wasn't happy, but she didn't want to hear later that I got hurt or something. So that's the last time that I was really bad in public. Remember I told you I only drink at home, right? Yeah. When I went to the bar with that guy, I think he put something in my drink. I mean, I only had a couple drinks, but to get plastered, I only do that at home. Okay. Only did that at home. Okay. So anyway, she brought me back to my apartment. She wasn't going to take me to hers when I'm drunk. And she left this by my nightstand because she put a little note by it. And I've never taken it off, but I thought it was more because it was pretty. I never really looked the words before, like, a lot, until I got off the phone with you, because you kept saying, isn't there somebody? And I had those two friends, and sometimes they drink with me, you know, they were just more concerned because of the blood and the cutting. And Crystal finally just was like, she was mad because I went with that guy. And I thought, Lord God, don't I have anybody? So that was when I just thought of my aunt, and it means a lot now, but I don't know, why is it that way in our life that we can, looking at it right now, the words, I am enough. I don't know. It's going to take a bit to remember, like, to actually get that in my head. It at least made me call her. I thought maybe she really does love me, but I think she just got tired of only being there. Like, I never, like, she would call me at work and stuff and leave a text, and I wouldn't even answer. Like, I'm, because she just seemed too good, and I'm not worthy. And then she's like, when I finally opened up, she's like, are you kidding? I've been longing to get into your world. And because she said growing up it wasn't easy, but she had found God. I guess it was a God in a place where I never saw him, because the church I went to, the youth pastor was like so handsy. Ugh. But she said, you know, not everybody's like that. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go to her church. I don't know. If that's like something I got to do to stay here, I'll figure it out. But
and you'll cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah.
Let's get back to your ring. That's such a powerful statement. So I am enough. And then you said, I am worthy. So talk a little bit about that. How do those two things play together? You are enough and you are worthy. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think I'm worthy of more than what I mean, I'm nice. I didn't deserve to get beat up by that guy and Mark. I mean, jerk. I'm worth more than that. Even if I'm not smart and I'm not the prettiest girl in the room, or, you know, when you're nice, I have a good heart. I mean, when I think about if I could have gone back in time, I bet I would have made a good vet or a vet assistant. But I do like to do my hair fun, so I think hair is fine. Maybe I could volunteer at the vet. I don't know. Do they do that? Do people like just hold kittens? I don't know. Puppies. I don't know, but I think I'm worth more than I don't know, because it's hard to say. I'm kind of shy about that. Am I not? You're making me.
Actually, you do know, but it's probably hard to find the words to express what you're thinking.
Well, because most guys will say stuff to get what they want, and then they're gone. So I'm not hearing it from the right people, obviously. Oh, you're this, you're that. It's always from people that are pulling and taking from me, and you don't want anything from me. You're married. So yeah.
Now, in our last discussion, you talked about him taking a piece of you.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful statement.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I get this picture of someone just taking a chunk out of you. That's just.
And you never get it back. You
don't get that back. So you being enough and being worthy, how can you save parts of yourself from being chewed off?
I'm going to be a nun. I got points. Yes.
Well, that's a possibility.
Not now. I'm shamed. I can't be a nun now. I can be a wannabe nun.
But so answer the question. What could you do to save yourself so people don't take chunks out of you?
How about you tell me?
I'm not gonna let you off the hook on this one. You're doing really good. Just think.
Come on. I feel like I haven't cried today. I haven't yelled. I didn't say a bad word yet. I'm doing good. I got eggs this morning. How about how do I keep people? What's the question again? How do I keep?
How can you keep people from taking chunks out of you?
I don't give them all of me. How about that?
All right. So talk about that.
I don't sleep with the guy. I don't go back to his house, his place. I wait a little bit to get. I know you're like one of those save yourself till you get married people. So, but how about if I just don't? How about I don't date for a while? I don't know. What do you think? Can you not give me some hints? I don't know. I've never not given. I've just lived. I don't know.
No, you say I don't know quite a bit, but I'm on the impression that you do know. Again, you just kind of work with it. You're doing good. Just how stay on that thought. How can you protect yourself from being chewed off? And you mentioned things maybe not dating much. So what do you think? Let's be realistic. Over the next 4 weeks, what could you do to protect yourself so people don't chew off of you?
I don't go there. I'll stay away. I'll stay with the chickens. I may learn to milk cows. Oh dear. I'm going to get myself some overalls. Whew, I don't know. I don't know how long I can stay here. It's like lots of Jesus, whole lot of Jesus.
And you're right. This may be temporary, but people chew off of you in different ways, and it's not just physically, but it can also be emotionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can you protect your heart from being chewed off?
I don't know.
How about this? How about we make a deal that as we speak, you try not to say the word "I don't know."
Okay. I do not comprehend. I know I'm your favorite. I'm your favorite. Oh, man. Oh, how do I keep people from not chewing me? Taking a piece of me. I could learn self-defense. And I don't know. This is hard. I've never thought about. I'm protecting myself. I need a wall. I need a wall and buffers. What's it called? Boundaries. Boundaries. Is that where we're going? I don't know what a boundary looks like. I don't know. People talk about them. Buffers.
How about this? How about give yourself a week? And so by our next session, just take each day to think about what you can do to protect your heart,
Protect my heart.
protect your body, and to protect your mind.
You don't give any clues at all?
You know, Sarah, I am of the opinion that you have all that you need right here. It's just a matter of you finding it. I have a lot of confidence that you already have the answers. So just take some time to explore.
I get like spend more time and see what I really like so that I'm not so quick to give it all at once.
That's good. And you don't have to come up with all the answers right now, but just over the next 7 days.
Okay.
Just think about it.
You see, I got some sun. I've been steering the tractor. It's just been 2 days. Whew.
Yeah.
Country bumpkin.
I'm getting eggs from chickens and maybe milking cows. Good for you. Sometimes it's just good to get out in the woods, huh?
Yeah, it feels like I'm in a weird dream. They did put me on some meds. Can you tell?
What meds?
It's like an antidepressant. It just keeps me here. I didn't want anything like, I don't know what it's called. It's just like just to keep me. Because sometimes my aunt was like, I don't think we can take you like up here with the kiddos around, and she's not equipped for Sarah without. Are you against meds? I know you're like, she's more holistic, but she felt like, I mean, obviously I was just slicing the tar out of my legs 2 weeks ago. So
who made the appointment with, how did you get your meds? Who made the appointment?
Well, after I called her, she just said like, before I went to her place unmedicated, and I kind of did like with you the first time and told her everything and threw up all over her, and actually did throw up. I had to leave the room and go throw up. Like it was that deep. I hadn't eaten either. It kind of sucks. But so then before we went and got all my stuff, we went ahead and got me to a doctor, and they just felt like it would be helpful. I don't really, what's the word? I'm not proactive. That's the word he said. Let's be proactive. Did you use that word once with me? I don't remember. Like, how can we prevent? Like that word proactive. That we're being proactive. And so I can smile now. And like when I talk about things, it doesn't hurt quite as hard as before. I don't want to be on this for long, though. Like I don't want. Also, I think my aunt had a twisted kind of thing because it said she made sure I saw you're not allowed to drink alcohol while you're on these. She's like a little bit of a sneaky.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Be careful with that.
Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness. So 3 things, and we're gonna wrap up here, but just 3 things. So you picked up the phone, called your aunt.
Called Aunt Laura.
Yeah, then you went to the doctor.
After I went to visit her for a little bit, and that was that day that she's like, let's go get your stuff if you're ready, but we need to stop you at the doctor first. And it was kind of like thrilling in a way to think that someone cared and that maybe I could, I don't know.
And then that ring.
Incredible. Yeah. Well, I've had this for a while.
Yeah.
I just I never put it together because literally it's cute. I just wore it because it was cute. I'm like, but now it means something a little. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but at least to her, I'm enough.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So this is gonna be a little stretch of another exercise while you think. I know I'm kind of into exercises, but if your ring could talk to you, what would she say? Now it's gonna take a little creativity, but if your ring could talk to you, what would she say? All right. And just,
wait. You're talking to someone on medication about a ring that has a voice. Maybe you need to go get checked, Dr. George.
Maybe.
If my ring could talk to me, come on.
If she could talk to you, because she's been with you for a while.
a very long time,
Yeah,
like a year.
so-
I have not drank like that in a
So
year.
if she could talk to you, what would
Ring
she
could talk. What would she say? What would she say? Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. Whew.
All right,
Wow,
Sarah.
we got through without me having a meltdown, Dr. George. Those chickens.
Actually, you got through without having a meltdown. Good job. All right. So I'll see you in a week.
Okay.